Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video let's have a look at this foldable smartphone from Oppo that is known as the Oppo Find N. And as you can see, I've taken it out of the box. Started playing this from Saturday. Today is Monday, so we'll give you my initial impressions. Again, this is a folding smartphone, just like the Samsung Galaxy Z Flips Fold series, sorry. These also do the same thing. So let's have a look at this one, and let me quickly actually show you the box, because the box looks very premium, but as of now guys, this is not launching in India. This is only a Chinese, Chinese market as of now, but maybe they will launch it in India eventually, because this is a review unit that was sent to me by Oppo India. So I don't know if they're planning to launch this, or maybe a future phone based on this one or whatever. Anyways, so like this, so if you open it, comes like this. The phone was here, obviously you can open this comes out, and you also get a charger. This is a 33 watt that fast charger that you're getting, so at least you're getting that. And you get a lot of bunch of paperwork. Again, this is the Chinese variant, so no point looking at it. And this is your charging cable that you get. So I would say, in terms of presentation, at least it gives you that premium feeling that it is. So the box is pretty cool. I'll just keep that to the side. So this is the smartphone itself, and if you notice, the big thing is that this one from the front, if you compare the Samsung Galaxy, this is the Z Fold 3, this is a lot narrow in width, I would say. So yes, you can work like this, but let's say you want to do anything important, you have to always open this up, and this is your main screen. Whereas on this, the outer screen is wide enough that you can do a lot of stuff. For example, even Twitter and stuff. As you can see, this works really well, and this is actually a 5.49-inch screen. Yes, obviously it's like this, and if you open this up, the inner one opens, and this is a bigger, so this is the fold. But one thing that I noticed out of the box is that if you notice this here, the inner fold is a lot visible on the Z Fold, that crease or the line. Here it is there, but it is not that much visible. In fact, when I was watching videos and stuff, this was hardly visible, whereas here you notice that quite a bit. So that is something that I noticed is an improvement. This is pretty new. This I have used for a couple of months, but that is something that I've noticed. Now moving to the hinge, which I feel is a very important part. Again, the hinge is done well on this one. It gives that reassuring feeling, I would say. So that way, I would say, looks nice, but it's very new. One nice thing that I like about this smartphone is, like, for example, this app is open, and if you close this, you get this. If you just swipe it, it'll come over here. That also happens on the Samsung Fold, but here, for that functionality, you have to actually go in the settings and decide which apps. For example, let's say for Twitter, I have done it. For example, I'm using this app. If I close this, which app will open automatically here? You have to set it. I feel this is more elegant. You don't have to do that. For example, let's say you're doing something, let's say Amazon Prime or whatever, like this, you have to log on. You just close this, and if you just swipe, it comes to the screen. So I feel this integration is better on this one. And again, this is also having the Snapdragon 888, and guys, here are all the specs that you can see. In fact, this comes in actually two variants, 8 gigabytes of RAM and 12 gigabytes of RAM, and storage will be 256 or 512. The one that we have this review unit is actually the 512 with 12 gigabytes of RAM. But again guys, as this is meant for China, a lot of Chinese apps and stuff were pre-installed. Luckily I could Play Store is there, so you can download stuff and in fact do that. In fact, I had to also change the keyboard. As you can see, a lot of preloaded browsers and all those things, and I had to change the keyboard. This is the Google keyboard, but this in the width, this does not work properly here in this area. If I just use the keyboard here, it is fine. So again, there are some things that are needed to be optimized, I would say. So that is again, I've installed Twitter and stuff. As you can see, Twitter and all those things, a bunch of small apps that I've installed, they work fine. But for example, let me zoom in. Some of the apps that was very peculiar. These are popular apps, like for example Netflix. For some reason is not present on this phone. Again, as I've told you, this is not meant for the international market as of now. China only. So again, there are some stuff, but again, underneath this is Android itself. And if I go over here, this is Color OS, guys. Let me just open it on the full screen so that you get a better idea. And in some of the apps, it takes use of this bigger screen. Let me adjust the brightness. And auto brightness is good. It has over 1000 levels of auto brightness according to Oppo. And if we go to about the device, here, as you can see, it gives us the specs Snapdragon 888, and this is the 12GB RAM variant, as I've told you guys, and comes with Android 11 out of the box, not 12, but I'm pretty sure this is a new phone, so this will get the Android 12 update. So again, it's stock and not stock Android, it's a customized skin of Android, and only in a few apps I would say it is taking advantage of the dual screen. One good thing is in terms of hardware, you can also put it like this, in this any position it stays, just like the Fold 3. I also like the Fold 3 and that. For example, I use the outer screen many times and just fold it like this and watch videos, so you can do that. And many of the inside apps also on this one. For example, if I invoke YouTube, let's say I open this, and if you do this, it splits this. So this hardware wise, it has that functionality. I can prop it up in any position, but I've noticed that the optimization is not there. If I open this video, same thing will do. I'm watching like this. If I do this, it doesn't shift towards the top. So again, that optimization is not there. So the hardware wise, that functionality is there. For example, another thing is that I do this a lot on this one. I'll show you. For example, like this, I'm watching stuff. First, let me show it on this, then you'll get an idea of what I'm doing, because I've been using this one like this. For example, for watching videos, I just use it like this and I prop this up in this position and I can just watch it. I don't have to hold, and this works very well on this one. But let me just pause this. But when I try doing this on this one, let's say play this, and in the next part I'll post the user, it just goes back to the internal one. It doesn't stay here. So hardware wise, it is there, that functionality. Hardware wise, the hinge supports that multiple levels, but the software is not taking advantage of it. So that is the thing. So they have to really work on the optimization of the software to intelligently use the hardware and the multiple screen positions that it has. Samsung again has perfected that, but again guys, no, this is the third iteration of the Fold from Samsung. This is the first one from Oppo. And definitely the biggest difference that I noticed in the past 2 days, because I used the Fold also, is the outer screen. As you can see, this is a lot taller and this is a lot wider. So whenever you're typing, this is a lot easier. This feels like a normal phone where you can type stuff and do all that thing. It's very comfortable to type. Here it becomes very narrow, I would say. So the typing experience, for example, if I open the same keyboard over here, just notice how narrow it becomes. So that is the big difference that I noticed. And this, I feel, unintentionally you might use this a lot with the outer screen itself, because you don't have to open it again and again. For media consumption, yes, it is there. But again, guys, for both the Fold, this one and this one, because the video aspect ratio, if I open it even on this one, Sandeep, he has this beautiful let me just go to the full screen. Yes, as you can see, it feels slightly bigger on this one, because this, when you open it up, is bigger, whereas on this is 7.1 inches. So on both you will get the black borders, guys. That is something that is because of the aspect ratio of these folds. But one thing that I noticed is, and this is an oversight, I don't know how Oppo did this. This Oppo claims is having a stereo speaker. Again, one more thing, let me just open the YouTube app. But both the speakers are on this side. This is one speaker, this is one speaker. So you simply do not get that stereo effect, because the sound is only coming from this side. Whereas on the Fold, they have done it properly. For example, same video, if I open it up, one speaker is here, one speaker is here. So you get that stereo experience. Don't get me wrong, this is enough loud. But even when I open it up, okay, because both the speakers are this position, Yes, it is trying to emulate the stereo effect from here and here, but one of the speakers should have been on the top to get the better stereo experience. So that's a bummer, I would say, in terms of the design aspect. There again, I felt this offered a little bit more that stereo separation just because of the placement of the speaker. One is over here, one is over here. That's how you should do a stereo speaker. And overall, I would say it's too early to judge the product. Again, as I've told you, in terms of software optimization, they have to really work and also make it compatible with a lot of apps. And again, most of the third-party apps just do not take advantage of the super wide screen. It's just like a big screen, so they have to work with developers to enable that. Again, Samsung has worked a little bit more, I would say, in that department, but Oppo really needs to work on that department. So it's a nice concept, I would say. In terms of hardware, they have done a good job. The hardware wise, it's good. But again, one thing I have said this even in the review of the Z Fold 3, these are like two smartphones put in one over the other. That's why these are bulky and heavy, and that's the same case even with this one. This weighs 275 grams, so whenever you pick it up, you definitely notice that weight. That was again the same case even with the Fold 3. So the weight is still an issue with this form factor, but it's interesting to see Oppo trying slightly different from what Samsung is doing. Let's see if they release the international version of this smartphone. And let me give you a physical overview first. In terms of build quality, I completely forgot. Very good. Gorilla Glass Victus is there here on the top, and back is also glass, guys. We have a triple camera setup. I'll show you some of the samples. The main is a 50 megapixel sensor on this one. Moving to internal cameras, again, this is a punch hole over here. Whereas on the Samsung, if you notice, it's that invisible camera that you have here. So feels more elegant, but this takes better selfies. Obviously, if you want better selfies with the Samsung, again, I would say best to use the outer camera, this one, the 10 megapixel. This also has the outer camera again over here, so that's not a issue on this one. And if you swipe, it opens like this. So there are differences, I would say, between both the device. Again, as I've told you guys, this is the first iteration of the this Fold from Oppo. So hopefully we will see more versions of this smartphone. Certainly for the first version, hardware wise, they have done a good job, but software is where they really need to work quite a bit, I feel. And the fingerprint scanner is here embedded, and for example, the power come fingerprint scanner, and if you just tap in, it works. So this works really well, I would say. But still, I don't get the logic of having both the speakers at the same end at the bottom. In China, this is starting at about 92,000 rupees. So yes, a lot more affordable than the Samsung counterparts, but we don't know if it will launch in India. And if it launches in India, then we have those extra taxes like GST, 18% import tax, etc. So might come closer to the Samsung one. But again, an interesting take from Oppo. And to end this video, again, one more thing is that the Samsung, again, as I've told you, this is the third version, so it's not fair to compare it with this one. This is the first version from Oppo. This is actually water resistant, guys. This has IP rating, whereas no IP rating for this one. And let me actually end this video with some of the camera samples taken with this one, so that you get an idea how's the camera on this Oppo device. Some outdoor samples, and as you can see, outdoor it is doing actually a good job. And this is the wide angle lens, and human subjects also come out good. Regular shot, this was that portrait bokeh mode, and this was with the ultra wide lens. It doesn't have a macro but does a decent job. And some more sample shots, we can also use the 2x zoom to take the shots, and they came out good. This is in the portrait mode, and this is the 2x zoom in the portrait mode. Here I feel 2x portrait mode does a very good job. This is the regular portrait mode, and this was finally the regular 1x. Oppo generally does a good job with skin tones, and that's the same case even with this smartphone. Front-facing camera performance also in outdoor conditions, as you can see, was good, and the pictures came out good. Even in the portrait mode, I would say in outdoor conditions, it did a good job. But indoors, as you notice, the front-facing camera was struggling quite a bit. Is again recording the video, and another small thing that I noticed with this one, if I set to 4K I cannot enable the stabilization, so it was very shaky at 4K. So this is 1080p with stabilization switched on, as you can see. And now I'll try to do the same thing in 4K so that you get an idea. Guys, now I'm recording in 4K and the stabilization is switched off, and I'm just walking like I did. It looked stable to me even without the stabilization option, but you guys let me know this was in 4K. Guys, shooting the video with the front facing camera of this Oppo smartphone, and by default stabilization is not enabled, guys, so I have enabled it. And another small thing that I have noticed is that audio is also being recorded by the internal microphone, by the way, guys. One small thing that I've noticed is that in terms of video with the front facing camera, though it is 32 megapixel, the maximum recording resolution is capped to only 1080p. I don't get it. Now I'm in direct sunlight, so how it's handling exposure, you guys let me know. I'll just go to move out. I feel HDR could have been better video. As you can see, background is slightly overexposed, but this is the recording with the front facing camera, and I still don't get it why they have limited the video recording with the front facing camera to just 1080p, and why can't they enable it to 4K, because it's having the Snapdragon 888. But anyways, guys, this is a quick sample recorded with the front facing camera. So guys, that was the Oppo Find N smartphone. So what do you feel about this Oppo Find N, the first truly foldable smartphone from Oppo that is going to go mainstream? As of now, it's China only, but I think so they might launch a variant of this one or something elsewhere also in the world. But love to know what do you think about this one. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.